when I record,
So for the sake of the recording, can I just repeat again, just for the sake of it?
yeah.
That I had never seen an experience, because that's what it
Hmm.
was, an experience of two people communicating, talking to each other in a way that was so full of resonance, so full of appreciation and admiration and fulfillment of each other and being in each other's company. That's the
Mm.
point of it. And I don't believe it was staged at all. I don't believe it was scripted at all. You cannot script sincerity. There's no way you can do it like that. And that's why I kept a copy of the link that you shared with me, Gary, and I will be grateful for the rest of my days for you sharing it, because that
Welcome.
is the essence of how to communicate, of how to hold a conversation.
Yeah,
Whether
yeah.
you're doing it in business or not, it doesn't matter. If
You
you
know, it
can't
reminded
watch that
me.
and learn something, then you know what, you're brain dead.
It reminded me, the reason I wanted to share it with you, of our conversation, the first one we had, and now we're getting into that zone again. The feeling that two men can sit. I mean, it's as though we're sitting here. We don't have to be in a restaurant. We could be in two different countries, which we are, and we're staring heart to heart, soul to soul, mind to mind,
Yeah.
sharing the depth and wisdom and vulnerability of our perfect imperfection. And it's an exquisite phenomenon, this ability to connect like this. So it reminded me of the movie. I went, if you don't know this movie, you're going to have to see this movie because it reminds me of our connecting right now. My
Tell
dinner
me
with
that movie.
Andre.
Let me write it down. I'll forget it. What's the movie?
Called, and you can look it up on YouTube because it's just there for everyone. It's called My Dinner with Andre.
Oh, you referred to that before.
Exactly. I mentioned that in
That
our.
was in the email I lost.
So this is interesting. If you lost it in the email, how did you possibly see the video?
Because we spoke about it before, and I went looking for it while you and I were talking on
Oh,
YouTube.
you found it when we were talking, and
Yeah,
that's how you remembered to find it. Okay, yeah.
yeah,
It's easily available on YouTube. You just go to YouTube and put in My Dinner with Andre, and it comes right up. It's now, I think, in the public domain.
yeah, yes. But the reason when you mentioned it, I thought, wow, he is singing my song. So and I know it was a little bit rude, but I just went looking for it while I was talking to you. That's all. So,
Well, I'm enjoying our camaraderie, Peter. You know, I don't have any agenda or anything I want from you, with you, to you. I'm just happy as elders, wisers, that we bring out the sage and mage out of our cages, and in this stage and page of life that we're on, it's a very fulfilling experience.
it is, and I am blessed with the opportunity to have been able to connect with you, because there's so much more we can talk about. We're just scratching the surface, to be quite frank with you. Okay.
Let's dive deeper. I'm all ready for it.
Yeah. Well, we will, and we'll meet often to do that, because to me, it's valuable to me to be able to speak with someone who actually really understands, rather than at a superficial level, at a deep level. Okay. There's so much superficiality, so much disingenuity, so much skepticism in this world. I mean, it's just drives me crazy. Okay? But to find someone who actually really gets it, right? You're a gem. You are a gem. So I am really proud to be associated with you. Thank you. Thank you.
You
Thank
know,
you.
it's really funny that you say that. Thank you. You're picking up subliminally and psychically and intuitively one of my favorite nicknames. And actually, here in this community where I live, I've been recently been given the nickname of Gary the Gem. But it's not just GEM. My favorite names in my lifetime that I've been using recently, because I've had a lot of different nicknames and spiritual names and all kinds of names over many stages and ages and stages and pages, has been Gary, of course, my born given name. When I was 1992, living in Boston, I met a woman who is very active in the Sufi order of the West. And at that time, I was going through one relationship after another, and I couldn't, I couldn't stay committed to any particular woman. It's actually just part of the story of my life. And in that particular time, when that was happening, I said to myself, what am I able to be fully devoted to that I'll never say no to, that I'll never divorce from? And it's been my commitment, devotion, and total dedication to creativity as my God, my way of ritualizing despair, anger, hate, conflict into creative experiences that are interactive, that people break free into greater authenticity. And so I said to myself, what would I never say no to? And it's my devotion to creative spirit. And it was that time I met a woman who was actually running a theater program in Boston, the same one I just mentioned. And it was a transformational theater group. And her devotion was in connecting people to their divine, creative human nature. And I said to myself, I want to be initiated in this path, given that you are a theater coach and you're very much about freeing the creative spirit. I'm devoted to this. I'll always say yes to this. I'm married to this. Initiate me in the Sufi order of the West. She did, and she gave me the name, coming from a Jewish background, of Elijah, which I didn't feel comfortable with because I've been rebelling from my Jewish pussy kind of, you have to be this way heritage from the beginning. And I didn't get bar mitzvah, I didn't do any of that. And yet over the last, now it's what, 30 years, 30 years since 1992, exactly. I've grown into this name, which is about the initiator of awakening. And Elijah was a wonderful prophet, and he did good things as a soul on this earth. So that is that name, Gary Elijah. And when I was living in Thailand, in Kopangan Island near Koh Samui, about 3.5 years ago, I was working at a holistic center called the Orion Healing and Detox Center, part of their healing team. I went through a very powerful ritual, which I won't talk about online. You can probably get a sense of where I'm going with this. A very powerful ceremony with a woman who led the ceremony. And at the end of the ceremony, she turned to me and she said, "That was really powerful, Merlin." And I said, "What did you call me?" I said, "I called you Merlin." I said, "What do you call me Merlin for?" Because you have, this to me is Gary, an energy of this really magical being that I feel that's more authentic to you, in her nicknaming me. So I put the three together. Gary, Elijah, Merlin spells gem, Gem. And I love being called Gary the Gem or the Gem. So thanks for recognizing that in me. It really speaks to my heart.
Well, I mean, I know our time's up, but just can I have just 1 or 2 more minutes with you? Is that okay?
Yeah, just say whatever you like. Yeah, there's no one here.
Okay.
It's me.
I've got to run a workshop soon, but you mentioned a word which fascinates me when you were describing that process of building the word GEM, right? And the word that you used was initiator.
Yes.
Tell me more, Gary. Are you really an initiator?
Which of the experiences? I've lost track which one you were referring to.
You mentioned
the Sufi, the one that initiated me into the Sufi order, right?
Yes.
You want to know more about that?
Now I want to know, do you feel that you are an initiator?
Initiated.
No, can you now initiate other people? That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Not without their permission.
Okay.
I
That's
can't do it to any. I can't do it. No, since I did not become a medical doctor in this life, I've been very careful about how I say what I do. And even though I have magical qualities, and we all do, I've been very careful, specifically in legal terms and in lawful terms, not to say that I cause or create or generate healing, or I'm a healer, even though I do, and I'm a healing artist and a performance artist and a creative artist, communicative artist. I do not change people. I do not transform people, but I assist. I facilitate, I catalyze, and I'm really good at it. But no, I do not initiate anyone. I awaken, I do, I'm good at that. I move the physical, emotional, and creative energies from being stagnant, buried in the landscape of our bodies through different processes and creative rituals that I've come up with. Yet it's not an initiation, it's an evocation. It's an awakening of what's already there, stored, bound, and then bound for release. So to answer your question, I'm all of that, but I don't initiate anyone. I
Okay.
provoke.
That's
Yeah,
fine, because the word provoke is just even more important, because we're talking about people's paradigms. That's what we're talking about, right?
yeah,
And their paradigms are the things that are stopping them from doing what they want to do. And if you can evoke, or whatever word you want to use, to get them to challenge themselves to, and you're right, you and I can't transform people. We can help them through a transformation process, but it's their
yeah,
role to do it. We don't walk on water, okay? We are the
exactly.
people that show them how to do it.
That's
And
right.
if they're not prepared to get outside their comfort zone, if they're not prepared to challenge their paradigm, then
Yeah.
I'm very sorry. Don't waste your money on me, because I can't help.
Yeah, I'm in the same page with you, Peter. Give you a really beautiful example. It just happened just half an hour ago before we met just now. I was meeting a woman for the first time outside of a networking group, outside of the Serving Circles networking group that I met her at, Tyson Sharp's group. And this woman very excited to meet with me. I didn't know who it was. Just let's meet, let's chat, let's Zoom. So we did. And she describes herself as the bio writer. You know, she writes biographies for people. And I met her and we're talking. And I said, gee, you know, I would love to have the opportunity, if you're open to it, to have you in your introducing what you do online to be even more engaging, interactive, fully centered, present, evocative in your own way, to bring more people to you. She lives in Canada, in the middle of Canada. And she said, okay, I'll give it a go. And so we, it sounded like she was reading a script. And it was really obvious to me that she had memorized these lines. And to me, I was real with her. And I said, look, you talk about these 1, 2, 3 qualities that you help people with, how they are and who they are and why they are. You number it on your fingers. And, you know, if I were watching a list, that would be interesting. But you're a human. You've got a body. I don't want to see. I know you like to write people's stories and their body, but it feels like you're writing rather than speaking. It's like you remember this is not coming through to me. She said, "Wow, this is taking me out of my comfort zone, man. You know, and I like it. This is taking me out. I'm used to having a script." And I said, "Well, let's have you do it now with making pictures of your hands of who people are, how people are, and why people are." So you show it. I'm not comfortable with that. I just want to do it by being still. I say, great. Okay. Stretch my envelope. Do it just with your face. And then she came alive in her face. Who you are, she started to move and it was gesturing and she came alive and animated. Yes. And then we started talking. We went down a slightly different rabbit hole. And I was saying, look, you want to do a follow-up session? She's like, I really need to digest this. This took me so far out of what I'm used to doing. It allows me to be so much more of who I am. I thought I had to do it more in this way, more intellectual, more masculine. You introduce something that's more creative, more intuitive. I never thought I could reach people like that. And I said, well, we're going to do a follow-up session in about 2-3 weeks. I'm going to Hawaii, been a Richmond speaker on this ocean liners maiden voyage. And I'm going to be talking about the different legends of the Polynesian area, tattoos, Gauguin. She said, what did you just say? Gauguin. Gauguin? That's my favorite artist. I said, really? She said, that's my favorite artist. And she's talking to me with this dull, boring background in back of her. And the next part of the conversation was, I have an idea for you. This will stretch your envelope way beyond what we've just suggested about using your body and your gestures to really animate with your face and your full body centered, authentic, loving, passionate, intuitive, and intellectual presence. I said, here's an idea for you. What do you think about imagining yourself when you speak with people, talking about how you love storytelling and bringing people's messages to life with an image of a little print that you buy of Gauguin, his art, in back of you instead of this dull, lifeless, boring, desk. And she said, "Oh my God, I never thought about it." And so, this is a great example. This is how I'm evocative. I mean, this happened. I do it all the time. But this just happened before you and I spoke, Peter. So I couldn't wait to tell you about it.
Great story. And it's so pertinent to what we're just talking about. So
Exactly.
Gary, I mean, excuse my ignorance, and this is probably a senior moment, but where in the heck did we meet? Was it on a networking group?
Yeah, I met you through Edward Zia's group.
Oh, okay. Okay. Edward Sears. Yeah. He's a
That's right.
hardworking man. Goodness
Yeah.
gracious.
Let me turn off the recording for a moment. Peter, this is a beautiful poem that I received 20, 30 years ago. It's another classic, similar to the My Dinner with Andre, that movie that we both now enjoyed. That's a classic. And this removes the veil of pretense that many people carry as what people say when, who are you when they start giving a transcript of what they would do to teach people in the world rather than their heart. And this is written by someone named Oriah, Oriah, Mountain Dreamer. I'm actually going to put this in the sharing the screen so you can see it. I'm going to read the words at the same time.
I've got it. Oriah Mountain Dreamer.
Yeah, you can see it on the screen now, can you?
Yes, I can see it. Oriah
Great.
Mountain.
Now I'm going to read it to you and listen to the power and beauty and evocation of this. It's exactly what we were just talking about after our short break.
Please do that. In fact, do you mind? I'm going to close my eyes while you read it.
Beautiful. Okay, here we go. The invitation. It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for, and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dreams, for the adventure of being alive. It doesn't interest me what planets are squaring your moon. I want to know if you touch the center of your own sorrow, if you've been opened by life's betrayal, or have become shriveled and closed from fear of further pain. I want to know if you can sit with pain, mine or your own, without moving to hide it or fade it or fix it. I want to know if you can be with joy, mine or your own, if you can dance with wildness and let the ecstasy fill you to the tips of your fingers and toes without cautioning us to be careful, be realistic, remember the limitations of being human. It doesn't interest me if the story you're telling me is true. I want to know if you can disappoint another to be true to yourself. If you can bear the accusation of betrayal and not betray your own soul. If you can be faithless and therefore trustworthy. I want to know if you can see beauty even when it's not pretty every day. And if you can source your own life from its presence. I want to know if you can live with failure, yours and mine, and still stand at the edge of the lake and shout to the silver of the full moon. Yes! It doesn't interest me to know where you live or how much money you have. I want to know if you can get up after the night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and do what needs to be done to feed the children. It doesn't interest me who you know or how you came to be here. I want to know if you will stand in the center of the fire with me and not shrink back. It doesn't interest me where or what or with whom you have studied. I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else falls away. I want to know if you can be alone with yourself and if you truly like the company you keep in the empty moment. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Sorry.
It's a tearjerker. Yeah,
Ah,
it is.
Barry, that to me, I'm lost for words, and that's unusual for me. It's a covenant. It's a covenant. That's what it is. Okay, it's something something you can live by, and live a
That's right.
life of righteousness, fulfillment, ethics, integrity, the whole thing.
Yes, you said it.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
And if your tears had a
Oh,
voice, the sensations you're feeling in your tears right now and you're coming through your eyes from a place of wisdom, what would the tears say if they could speak right now?
the tears, to be brutally honest with this, is getting very personal. Okay. But I lost my beloved wife 4 months ago.
Yes, yes, yes.
I told you. And I have to learn to let her go. And I haven't been able to let her go. And that is going to help me.
Oh, beautiful. And how is it that the words, the wisdom, the strength of the evocative sharing touched you? What is it that now you're ready to do that you can now complete your relationship with her, embrace the grief and move forward in a good way to reclaim your own life, to take it forward?
This is your area of expertise, not mine. So I'm just talking as a typical.
That's okay.
Okay. Oh, sorry, Karen, this has got to me.
No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to feel how deeply moved you feel because it's allowing you, and I get what's going on right now. I get that you're now able to let her go in a way that you can have a superseding of the belief that you're missing something to wait a minute. Even the emptiness is a fullness. It opens me up.
Yes.
Leonard Cohen's beautiful expression about the crack. You've heard this one, I'm sure.
I agree.
Let more light in.
Can I find that online?
Okay. Yeah, I'll find that right now online.
I need to read that every day.
Yeah, I'll find it right now.
But to answer your question specifically,
Yes, please.
It made me realize that I don't have to let it go. I don't have to let it go. The grief will always be there. It's all part of the human factor. What it is you've got to make sure that you don't fall down the hole of feeling sorry for yourself because you've lost someone.
Yes.
And
exactly.
And partly I am guilty of that. And that's what brought tears to my eyes, because it hit me right between the eyes.
Yeah.
And I've got 2 adult children to consider, and one of them's got the same problem as their mother in terms of their heart. And she got open heart surgery coming soon, and we're not sure about that. So that's why it affected me, Gary.
Oh, yes.
And I'm sorry if I got emotional, but what you see is what you get with me.
It's beautiful. Now I'm going to read, and also I'll share the video of this expression from Leonard Cohen, who is famous for saying these exact words. Everything is broken It's how the light gets in. There's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. Now I'm going to play that and put it in the share so you're able to hear it as well. Here we go. We'll do that in this right now. There's green there, and we'll go to that place that I just found. Hello. Yeah, here we go. Well, it's basically the key lyric. This is just a description about it. I thought it would be a video. These are the words, so you can see it now. There is a crack in everything. You can see that. That's how the light gets in. It's some of the best lyrics that he's known for. Now you can have that as your own. It doesn't belong to me or you. I'll also put it in the chat so you can save those words and have them on your own. You can look at it every day. Here we go. We'll put that into the chat. More and chat. And here we go. There's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. And I'll put his name next to it. Leonard Cohen. Beautiful. There you go.
I can't see it in the chat. Oh, there you go. Now I've got it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll save the chat.
Beautiful.
Ooh,
yeah, it's not necessary to let go of anybody or anything. The experiences, the memory, it's always there. If you could thank your beautiful wife for the gifts that she gave you that still live in you, maybe even more so than when you were dependent on her being around, what would you, if she could hear you now, what would you say, calling her by name? Thank you for the gift of that continues to grow in me. What would you say?
Thank you for the gift of patience. Thank you for the gift of being prepared to understand a different cultural point of view. Thank you for showing me how I can be the best person I possibly can in a foreign environment. Thank you more than anything else for your undying love for me, even though sometimes it drove you mad.
Now that last statement is so powerful because literally her undying, listen to what you said, love to you. She died, at least in the physical, yet her patience and all these qualities of being fully optimally yourself in a foreign culture live in you. It's her gift to you. It's alive in you. You're alive in you from her gift to you. And that will never go. You're always with me. You're always with me.
That's right. By the way, my eldest daughter, who is going through her own medical challenges, okay, she's actually, she's 28 years of age. She's a very, very beautiful woman. She's like a mother. She said, Dad, I've got one problem. I said, what is the problem? Obviously you've got a kidney and a heart problem. She said, it's not that. How do I find a husband like you?
Oh, what a beautiful, beautiful thing to say to her daddy. Oh.
I thought,
and what did you say?
That's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard in my life. I didn't say anything. I just gave her a hug and cried.
Of course. And did you answer her?
No, I just said,
no.
I'm not unique, Em. I'm not unique, but I love you and I'll always be here for you. And I know one thing for sure, whilst ever you're alive, your mother's not dead.
Yeah.
Because they are exactly the same.
Isn't that interesting? So your daughter carries some of the similar patterns to what you also saw with your wife. Is that what I heard you just say?
Yes. She is, unfortunately, it's a double whammy thing. She's got severe kidney disease, right? Which we need to stabilize in order for her to have open heart surgery because she got 3 valves that aren't working. And that's the problem that caused the stroke with her mother, my wife. But until we stabilize the kidney, she can't have the open heart operation. So the risk of her passing away is increasing every single day. That's the pressure.
And what are you all in the process of uncovering, revealing, discovering to be healing the kidneys, which of course is a symbol of, letting go of fear on a metaphysical level, letting go and being willing to trust the greater flow in her own life, rather than holding on in different ways. That there's a blockage of energy there. You can see the parallels between her and your beautiful, beloved wife. What is happening to heal those conditions that you're connecting to right now?
We've been blessed because this is a Buddhist country, and there are 3 monks in this village who are very close to us, very close. Okay, and they are here every day, without fail, every day, just to sit with us, to be there, to share philosophies, to talk about life in general, to talk about the challenges in life, to talk about how you're handling the challenges. That's happening every day for us. So we're blessed to have that. And I'm not a Buddhist, but I believe in their teachings. Okay, I actually do believe in their teachings. Whether I don't believe in reincarnation, which some Buddhists do, some don't. But anything that speaks of goodness, Gary, I'll listen to.
Yes. Yep. So beautiful connecting with you, Peter. I feel like we're reaching so many different levels of connection with ourselves and each other.
You blew me away, Gary. I'm running 30 minutes late for a workshop, and you know what? I am happy I'm running 30 minutes late. This has been hang on. It's been very special for me, okay? Sorry, I'm not working.
No, I love it. I love that you're letting yourself feel so deeply, because a lot of these feelings have been stored inside for so long, and the fact that you can share them with me and trust enough yourself and with me to show your vulnerability as strength, it's such a gift to you, to me, to humanity. It's so beautiful, Peter. It's so beautiful.
I've got to go and lead people now, and you've given me the strength to do that, Gary. So thank you.
I'm really pleased. Let's talk again soon. Let me know another good time for you. You could either email me, or if you need to go, I won't keep you. I'll turn off the recording now, of course, and really looking forward to our next deeper dive.